Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Think Big. This is episode 103. I'm excited about tonight's episode because effectively, if it's your first time tuning in, you are in for a treat. This is going to be kind of like a Sam Singh special, I'm going to call it. It's one of those masterclass level episodes where the value is off the charts. At the end of this, you're going to be asking yourself, did they run my credit card? Because I know I should have paid $30,000 to hear what I just heard. It's going to be that level of value that's going to be coming through the airwaves. And if you guys are coming in for the first time, do me a favor, put in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from, where you're watching from. I'm excited about tonight's episode. We're going to be talking about effectively what is going to be how to scale a business, a lending business in particular, from nothing to at least, at minimum, $500,000 per year. And Sam is pretty excited about this conversation because, to give you some perspective, Sam's been in real estate now for what, 3 years? Coming up on, you're about to hit your 3-year mark, and you've done over 300 real estate transactions and real estate deals. And as you've done everything, you've done wholesale, you've done lending, you have buy and holds, you've done fix and flip, you've been in everybody's mastermind, you've listened to every guru, you've quite frankly have done it all. And when you look at what the easiest entry into real estate in a way to really make a boatload of money in a relatively short period of time with the least amount of effort, so effectively the highest leverage activity, lending came up near the top of your list. And so I'm excited to hear about what you got to say tonight. Guys, this is one of those pen and paper nights. Like, I've got my iPad, I've got my pen. I'm personally going to be taking notes. This is a pen and paper sort of night. But Sam, I'm excited about this one, man.
Dude, I love this one. So excuse me, for anyone that's new to this, just know that I don't always behave this way. But Marlon, today's going to be a day where I'm kind of just going to go on a gigantic freaking rant because, bro, straight up, anyone, I'm just going to, can I just go? Is it cool if I just go, dude?
Dude, you are more than welcome to just go. And guys, if you're watching on Instagram right now, comment the word YouTube so you can come over to the YouTube, because that's when we're on StreamYard like this, we only see the YouTube comments. Like, I'm not seeing what's happening on Instagram. So comment on YouTube if you're on my YouTube or my Instagram or Sam's Instagram, and come on over. We'll send you the link to get onto the live. So yeah, Sam, go ahead. Let's get started. Let's jump.
Yeah. So anyone that's new, because we're actually getting a lot of new people, and we're 3 minutes in, and we're already, oh my God. Dude, we're setting records, bro.
I know. We already got more than like 50-something people on here.
Yeah, so if you guys are new, just know this. If you're coming to us from Facebook, because we're live on Facebook and we're live on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, we can't see your comments here. We literally, if you're on Instagram or on Facebook or anywhere else, we can't see your comments. And the reason why we want to see your comments is because I want to be able to answer your questions, because I'm just going to go off today. And I can only do that if you are on YouTube. So if you're on Instagram and you're watching Marlon's live, comment YouTube on the live. It'll automatically DM you the link. If you're on my Instagram, just go to my bio. There's only one link in my bio. It takes you straight to the YouTube. If you're on Facebook, get the hell over to YouTube. And because it always gets me, man. We say that, and then I go look at our Facebook, and I've got like 30 questions, and no one's, and they're never being answered. I feel terrible about it.
Yep.
But okay, that being said, guys, we've only got 55 minutes left, and I want to save enough time for a little bit of Q&A too. So honestly, here's the thing. I've only got 50 minutes, 45 to 50 minutes. I don't have a ton of time. I can't go deep into everything as I want to. If I'm going to be doing a signature masterclass on lending in the near future, that's going to be 4 hours. Like, I know minimum it's going to be 4 hours. And that's with 4 hours of me just giving tactical value with no filler. Like, I'm already rehearsing the presentation, just like Marlon's going through the reps with his. I've been going through the reps with all my master classes. It's going to be a very long one. And so, no, Sasha, we're not doing 3 hours today. We did that on the episode. We may do that. We may do something special next week, because next week, bro, is the official 2-year mark of Think Big. So that's huge. But today, guys, I've only got so much time, and I'm going to skip over a lot of things that you guys may be thinking are pertinent. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're new, a lot of this stuff is just going to go over your head because you don't understand why Sam's so emphatic about it. But the reality is this: when you get into masterminds where people are making minimum $1 million, this is how they think. And I'm telling you right freaking now, the shit that you care about as a newer investor, a newer lender, the stuff that you think is the stuff you think is super important, the stuff that The reasons you think are obstacles in your path are not. And Marlon and I say this almost every freaking week now, and that's that, Marlon, you and I know less about real estate than most people in the communities that we're in, and none of them can touch how much money I make in this industry. And it's because the subject matter stuff, like some of it matters, but most of it doesn't. All that matters is, can you get good at structuring business? And we're gonna, there's 6 core components of business. If you want to become a millionaire, you want to make $1 million in a year, there's only 6 core components of business. And the reality is you don't need all 6. If you focus on 2 core components of those business, which we're going to highlight today, you could make easily between $1 to $3 million a year. You want to get to 5 to 8 figures plus, then you have to start getting good at the other stuff too. But today we're going to highlight my 2 favorite ones, and that's marketing and sales. And so I'm going to say this, lenders, if you are a lender and you don't have a ton of success just yet, if you are thinking about getting into lending, if you're a wholesaler and you're like, dude, I want to try out lending because the grass seems maybe a little bit greener over there, it's going to be really pertinent for you. I need to screen share. Let me do this really quick. Please excuse the crudeness.
It's all good. Sam is learning technology. Sam, when you make as much money as you make, you don't need to understand how technology works.
There we go. Do you see this? You guys see this?
We got it. Perfect.
Okay, so just know, let me zoom in if I can. Just know that, guys, whenever Marlon and I are screen sharing, that's weird. If I zoom in, it zooms out. That is so weird. When Marlon and I are screen sharing, we actually can't see you guys. So Marlon, if there are questions at any point,
I'm going to keep my eye. Yeah, I'll keep my eyes on the comments. So guys, make sure the comments are rolling in. I love seeing Sasha. I love seeing Tim. I love seeing Matthew, Indigo, John Pickle. What's up? We got Mac. So yeah, I'm keeping my eyes on the comments. So as you guys are dropping your questions, comments, we're watching that.
Okay. Awesome. So let's do this. You can still see my screen, right?
Yep, I can see your screen.
Holy crap, I can see everything now, dude. I just got to change tabs. Okay, sweet. So, guys, if you're new here, which a lot of you, I think, are coming from Facebook, holy crap, dude. We just set another mini record for ourselves here.
Oh, 100% did.
That's awesome. Guys, if you're new here, welcome to Think Big. I'm Sam Singh. This is Marlon. He runs really freaking fast, like really fast. He ran across America. If you didn't know that, I'm good at scaling businesses. He's a mindset god, and he's also like this running phenom. It's actually amazing to see. So I had to include that in there. Okay. So you want to learn how to actually make money lending. Some of you are trying. Some of you have bought programs for a couple $1,000s. Some of you have some money. You have your own money. You have someone else's money. Whatever the hell it is. You want to get into lending. You want to grow lending. You understand the grass is greener on that side because lending is a phenomenal business. I want to say, I'm going to be very clear about this, guys. I'm going to speak very upfront about it. Lenders, you have the easiest freaking business model in real estate. I don't give a damn where I go. I've been in so many freaking high-level masterminds where people are making the brokest person in the room is making $1 million a year, and they all will agree that if they had to go back and start it over, do things differently, they would have started lending sooner not because it's more lucrative, not because it's more profitable, not because any of these other things. It's because it's the easiest one to start, structure, and scale. And so if you're like a lender and you pride yourself in being a lender and you aren't doing minimum $500,000 a year in whether it's revenue or profit, really not much of a difference because it's such a profitable business model. The reality is like you're missing structure. And that structure doesn't come from knowing unique types of lending, knowing unique versions of transactions, having all of these little tricks in escrow and how to move money a certain way so you get paybacks in unique and fancy ways. None of that shit matters. None of it matters. The only thing that matters in growing a lending business is understanding how to structure a marketing and sales system, a marketing system and a sales team. That is it. So if your business isn't growing, 9 times out of 10, guys, why am I so emphatic on it? I'm sick of lenders getting into my DMs and complaining about not growing their business. And I've jumped on a call with a few of them, man, and they start going off about all of these fancy, unique lending strategies they have. And I just highlight this. And I'm like, guys, how many leads are you generating consistently week over week? And they have no freaking clue how to answer that question. And I've said this. I went to an event with one of my homies, and he's doing $100,000, over $100,000 a month in profit lending. And this is how low the freaking bar is, guys. This is how goddamn low the bar is. Doesn't even have a freaking CRM. CRM's an Excel sheet. Doing over $1 million a year in profit with no freaking CRM. Guys, it's the easiest business model. Wholesaling, flipping, buying and holding real estate. Anything you want to talk about in real estate, lending is the easiest thing. All that you're missing is structure. If you're not making a certain amount of money, I promise you it's because you're focusing on the wrong things. And we've talked about this. If you want to get between 1 to 3 million a year, forget everything else and just focus on marketing and sales. And me, like Marlon said, we've closed over 300 deals in under 3 years now. The majority of that is going to be very wholesale oriented, and wholesale is a very fixed sales and marketing kind of background. And so when I got into lending, I'm like, dude, this stuff is easy. Like, why isn't everyone just crushing lending? It's very quick. You can make money back super fast. There's not a lot of moving parts to it, and it's really easy to systematize. So marketing and sales is the lifeblood of your business. Marlon, we always say this: if you don't have what, you don't have a business. Guys,
You don't have
put in. Okay, there you go. It's leads. If you don't have leads, you don't have a business. And the truth is 99.9% of lenders, I would guarantee, I'd put all of my money on, cannot tell me how many incoming leads they have in their pipeline week over week. And that is the biggest thing to hit on.
Before Sam continues, I want all of you to put this in the comments, right? Exactly like what Alex did. I want you to write it out. If you don't have leads, you don't have a business, because just listening to Sam and just listening to me is not going to grow your business. You can memorize every word we're going to say, but until you begin to take action, until you have understanding and you start to apply that understanding, nothing in your life is going to change. So demonstrate that you have understanding, demonstrate that you take action by taking out your phone right now, taking out your keyboards right now, and typing this sentence if you truly understand it. If you don't have leads, you don't have a business. Already first one on it, Chris Dickerson, right? And Chris is someone who's taking action. Right. I love this. All right. We got Mac taking action, Houston taking action, EJ taking action, Tammy taking action, Matthew, Marcella, Tiffany taking action. Okay. So this is what I like to see. Now I know who we've got about 86, almost 90 people live with us right now. And only about 6 of you are taking action. When you start thinking about that, like, it's crazy. There we go. That's what I want to see.
It's actually interesting, bro, because here's the thing. The framework that we're just going to give away today, like, there are people who are charging between $3,000 to $4,000 for, like, to put you and give you a bunch of fluffy bullshit that has not, like, that deviates from the core of what actually drives business. When you get into masterminds with the highest level guys, they only talk about the 6 core components of business. And out of those 6, the 2 they talk about more than anything else is always going to be marketing and sales. And I want to hit on this really, really quickly. Where is it? Jew just got me, killing it so hard. Grammar can't keep up. Absolutely. Guys, I promise I'm actually educated. I actually have a master's degree. I just did not have the time to care about making things pretty. Okay. So absolutely. Grammar cannot keep up. Sweet. Next slide. We're going to make some assumptions. Okay. Why do I care about having assumptions? I've done enough webinars where people are always like, dude, what about this? What about that? What about enter random one-off exception that they want to have to think that their situation is unique? Here are the assumptions that we're going to make going forward. Why do we make these assumptions? Because more often than not, they're the truth. And if you have them as principles, everything else just kind of works and it makes sense. Okay. Number 1, lending is easy. Straight up. I think every business model you can succeed in. I think you can crush wholesale. I think you can crush fix and flip, Airbnbs, whatever the hell you want to do. I am here to objectively tell you, lending is freaking easy. There's not a lot of moving parts. Cash conversion cycles can be very, very, very quick. And honestly, if you do it right and you secure it right, it's an extremely profitable business model, which makes it extremely easy to have the margins to reinvest in the business to scale it up. So number 1, lending is easy. Number 2, you don't need your own money. If anyone's new, you do not need your own money. Okay. There's a million different ways to raise capital. I'm not going to go into that because that is like a 2-hour topic. You can go get business lines of credit. You can go raise other people's money. You can go to mom, dad, grandpa, have them help out with their self-directed IRAs or 401ks, whatever the heck you want to do. There's a million ways to get money. Heck, if you're in the chat right now, I promise you, guys, think about it this way. If you're a lender or want to be a lender or want to do the work and you're in the chat right now, chances are there's other people in the chat right now who have the money. They want to do lending, but they don't want to be the operator. So you should be connecting with each other. I mean, on my side alone, we've got 60 plus people on my side alone in the chat. Connect with each other, because the reality is if you're broke, but you want to be the operator, right? That's one person. That person, if there's someone who has all the money and they don't want to do a damn thing besides provide the money and reap some of the benefits, cool, link up. That's the whole point of squatting up, guys. Okay, you don't need your own money. You don't need your own deals. That's a huge thing. To get into the lending space, lending is just being a middleman. Guys, Wells Fargo doesn't actually generate its own money. It doesn't deploy its own money, I should say. It gets other people's money, right? When Marlon goes and gives Wells Fargo, he deposits in his savings account $50,000. Do you think it's going to sit there in an actual account? No, it's a digital account. It's numbers on a screen. And what are they going to do? When I go and apply for a loan for $50,000, they're going to give me Marlon's 50 grand at an interest. And then they make money on the differential. For Wells Fargo, outside of its payroll and its people, it technically is running at like basically a complete profit margin. The reality is lending is the same way. You don't need your own deals. You don't need your own money. You are a connector in the middle. And obviously, if you want to scale it up and use your own money, you can absolutely do that, but you don't need it. Lending, and here's me being harshly true. Lending attracts lazy people because it's easy. Absolutely. We get into the space. You guys know this because you've been seeing a lot of influencers talking about lending, especially with transactional lending, short-term lending, and how you can do it without any of your money, without any of your own deals, basically have no risk in it and just make the money. It's why everyone and their mom right now wants to be a freaking connector, right? The truth is lending is easy. So by default, it's going to attract lazy people. And I'm okay with that because lazy founders and lazy CEOs and lazy business owners are some of the best business owners out there because they're really good at delegating. So that's phenomenal. The problem is this: if you've never run a business before and you think you're just going to come in and hit the easy button and not do anything at all, then you're going to be shocked at why deals don't come into you. There is a massive skill set that you do need to learn at the beginning, and that is learning how to market and build structure. You do that, your lending business will take off. It's not the same as wholesaling, where you have to stay in it, nurture it, build teams, build people, like do tons of trainings consistently. It's very, very active in the world of wholesale. Lending, you got to do a lot of that work in the beginning, and then you can kind of just set it and it just works. And that's the beauty of it. So wholesalers, if you're a wholesaler and you are not lending, I don't want to distract you, but the reality is if you've crushed wholesaling, you feel like you've got the skills to do it. I think wholesalers would make for phenomenal lenders and phenomenal connectors. That's just a raw truth because you are really good at marketing and sales. And this, huge, I'm going to keep hitting on this. Transactional lending, EMD lending, bridge loans, hard money, development, all the things. Throw all of that stuff out the door. Throw all of that stuff out the door. Stop worrying about specific lending niches or how do we go and start a fund or what type of fund. Do we do a fund to fund? Do we have to do a Reg CF? What do we do? Forget all of that because the answers for most of that stuff is usually behind a $30,000, $40,000 mentorship. And I'm trying to save you from that to get you in the game, to get you making money. So forget all those things and focus on marketing and sales because that's what's actually going to make you money. Awesome. I put this in there to remind myself that I need to set expectations with people because I tend to forget. And then people complain to me in my DMs about it. Okay. I don't have the time to cover specific lending strategies, so I'm not going to teach you how to do EMD lending, transactional lending, bridge lending. I'm not going to teach you how to do a fund. Why? Because those are all micro niches that you can go look up on your own. That's just it. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm just going to highlight this really quick. Kirk Anderson, thank you for participating. Guys, Kirk has $60,000. He needs someone who has a deal. If you want to get into lending, or if you have a deal, or you are the person with a deal and you need money, guys, like, oh my God, I
Dude,
have to
I'm,
say,
I'm literally watching a deal happen right now because David Smith popped on right after and says, Kirk, you ready to be my PML in the upcoming Fix and Flip in the Valley? Kirk says, let's go. David says, I'll text you. Like, guys, this is people think making a deal happen is so much more confusing than it actually is. And you guys literally just saw a deal happen right here in the live chat. This is why you got to show up live. For anyone watching this as a replay, this is why you need to be here live. And now
yeah,
John Pickle is saying, I got deals. Like,
this
guys,
only happens. This only happens live. Dude, that's sick. We're almost at 100 people right now watching live. Guys, there you go. What a deal in a minute. Phenomenal. So, guys, if you're a lender, right? I already talked to you about the connector who wants to make money. Guys, if you have deals, you know what you should really start doing? Even if you don't want to be a lender, but if I'm a flipper and I have deals and I need funding and I don't want to be a lender, right? What is it very advantageous for me to do? To go to Zooms and go to trainings that lenders buy into, because by default, the majority of those people in that room are going to have money or access to money. So if you're an operator and you need money, show up to stuff like this because everyone in the chat is who you need. So boom, love
absolutely.
that.
Now, Sam, before you keep going, hold that train of thought because I want to
Okay.
make this the most valuable episode we could ever possibly make it. Guys, right now, while this episode, we still got another 30 minutes ahead of us or so. I want you right now, you always do a great job at the end screenshotting and sharing this. I want you to share the episode right now. Screenshot that this is where you are. Screenshot the fact that a deal just happened live in the chat so that you get more people on here. If you guys really want to grow your business, start inviting your network into the rooms that you're already in. Invite your network onto this live right now. Send them the link and then start to work the chats. This is how we grow our business, right? Like this is not theory. This is actual practice right now. We should be going from, we have 106 people viewing this right now. We should be at 200 in the next 5 minutes. You guys need to share this episode immediately right now so that you can grow your business and so you can work the chat and start dropping what it is you have and what it is you need in the chat. So if you're a lender, drop that you want to lend. If you got a deal, drop that you need money. All right, let's keep going, Sam.
Dude, really quick, I want to hit on that. I just went over to Instagram to check and I knew this would happen. Lorena San Clemente on Instagram, love you. She says, I have a fix and flip in Houston looking for a PML. Lorena, go to my bio on Instagram, click the link. It's going to bring you here. If I didn't see that, we just had someone get a deal funded like right now. I want you to go ahead and do that too. Holy crap, Tim Harridge popped in. It's kind of cool when you have $1 billion lender pop into your Instagram live about lending. That's kind of weird. Tim, if you're still here, love you, dude. Excited for your event that's coming up in DFW. Okay. Set expectations with people. Guys, we don't have time to cover specific stuff. Instead of going to show you structure, instead, I'm going to show you how to structure the business so you actually make money. And that is going to be from a marketing and sales perspective. Why? Because that's what I'm really freaking good at. Everything that I do, people have, like in the world of business acquisitions and scaling businesses, people have different strengths. My strength is not scaling specific, like hiring people. My skill is not necessarily even on the finance side. My skill is not on the HR side. My specific strengths are in marketing and sales. So that's what we're going to be hitting on today. Straightforward. How many people do you need? For anyone that's new, if you want to make minimum $500,000 a year in lending, you don't need more than 2 people. Like that is it. And one of those people can be you. You don't need more than 2 people. Honestly, I don't even think you need 2 people. I think you can just do it with 1 employee and yourself. So count yourself, I guess. 1 employee is basic, hourly hire, overseas, doesn't need to be high skill level. What do I mean by that? It can be a virtual assistant in the Philippines, in Egypt, in South America, doesn't matter. It can be a $3, $4, $5 an hour hire. This person is actually going to be doing very rudimentary basic tasks. I'm going to hit on that a little bit later. The next employee, this is ideally you or someone that you're going to put in place to basically run the day-to-day, right? This person ideally is going to be a domestic, aka an American worker who understands the industry, who understands lending. They actually need to know what they're doing because they're going to be the ones basically heading up operations and making key decisions. I do not have time for this. SOP, standard operating procedures. How do you hire people and set them up to succeed? Every task, every activity, every principle in the business has to be documented visually to some capacity, whether it's a Loom video, screenshots, PDFs, it doesn't matter. Anything that you could possibly do in the business, needs to be structured and SOP'd and placed somewhere so your team can see it. Okay. I'm just going to hit on this because I want people to make money. Ethan says seeking PMP for a Section 8 portfolio in Cleveland. Guys, hit up Ethan if you want to do a portfolio deal. Cool. System. Guys, we've talked about this. Marlon, I think you and I both are always like, do you need a CRM at the end of the day? No, you don't. Trust me, if you want to make $500,000 plus, I think the chances of like the realistic chances of success go really like tremendously higher when you have a CRM in place. Marlon, I'm just going to say this, bro. We just broke like over 100. That's kind of badass.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at it right now. It's insane. Shout out to you guys for sharing the live and being here and going crazy bonkers in the chat.
Yeah, keep it up, guys. If you guys have questions, that's huge. I want to make sure I don't miss these questions. Danielle asked, what resources would you recommend to get education and lending? I will give you guys a free resource that I think is phenomenal for you to learn. It's not going to be where you're going to go to like absolutely scale through the roof, but it's free. And then I think you're going to do really well with that. And what I want you to do, Danielle, is after I give you that, you're going to go into that, participate, learn, take advantage of all the free resources, and shoot me a DM after once you're done with that. And we can connect and I can help you decide what's going to be the next thing you want to do after that. Okay. You need a CRM. The right CRM is key to not needing a ton of people. Here's the truth, guys. I am very big on people being business owners. I don't care about you being a CEO. I don't care about you being a COO. I want you to be a business owner, and the business owner actually doesn't work in the business. They just kind of oversee things and play chess looking down at the chessboard. They're not on the board. And I think, my personal opinion, it is much easier to become a business owner if you leverage systems the right way. So the right CRM can help you do that. It can help you make your whole system way more efficient and therefore need less people. And I'm telling you right now, I've literally let go of employees because our CRMs were able to do the tasks automated without needing a human being in place. I recommend anything that's based in GHL, which stands for Go High Level. Tons of Go High Level builds out there. You can get your own. You can get someone's white label. It's a CRM. It's got a lot of cool functionalities. And one that nobody in this industry talks about, bro, is Close. I think Close CRM is super powerful. It's a little bit more expensive than Go High Level. I like both. Right now, one of my businesses is completely based on Close. And so they both basically do the same thing. They both have tons of integrations, tons of customizations, tons of automations, all that good stuff. The reason why I like Close a little bit more than Go High Level is because it's a little bit more. Marlon, you're on Go High Level, right? You know that Go High Level, it's a little bit technical, right? The interface, the way it looks. I think a lot of people, they see it and it's like really kind of overwhelming visually. And if it's overwhelming for you, imagine how it's going to do for your $4 or $5 an hour employee.
Yep.
Right? It's going to be struggle. And that's the thing, guys. It's not about what you like as the business owner. It's about, because you're not going to be in the CRM every 5 minutes if you're a business owner. It's going to be about what can you give to your team and that allows your team to succeed. And that's why I like Close. In my opinion, Close is a little bit more user-friendly than Go High Level. And the interface, I think, is a lot more intuitive. Cool. The point being, you need a system that's going to help you have automations. What do I mean by automations? Texting and email automations. These are known as nurture sequences. I care about that. Why? Because that right there is actually going to be the key, the nurture sequences, to you getting repeat business without actually having to do anything for it. Web forms, aka when someone says, hey, if you guys shoot me a DM, right? And you're like, hey, Sam, I need a deal to Dispo. I'm either going to talk to you myself or I'm going to connect you with Sasha. At some point, what we're going to do is we're going to give you a link. And that link is going to say deal intake or new deal or something to that effect. And you're going to click it. It's going to open up. It's going to ask you a bunch of questions. That is a web form, right? From a landing page. You want to have CRMs that allow you to do that. Ironically, not all of them do. A lot of them do, but not a lot of them. Not all of them. I think Go High Level and Close are some of the best ones. So as long as you have those, cool, run with it. Don't overthink the CRMs too much. Okay, frontline marketing. This is, I think, what really matters, and I think where people suck at because they have the absolute worst kind of approach to it. Yeah, and they don't set themselves up to succeed. David, it's super overwhelming. I think you're talking about go high level. And yeah, in the beginning, it can absolutely be overwhelming. If you guys have more questions about CRMs, hit up myself or Marlon in Instagram DMs. All right, keep moving. Frontline marketing. What does that mean? It means this is the stuff that you have to do to go find the deals, right? If you're a lender, you got money, you got a money partner, whatever's happening, however you're getting your money, fine. You need to get deals coming in, right? Because you're not talking to sellers, you're not negotiating deals. You need to go into the world and do some form of marketing to bring deals into your pipeline. You can do this, or you can have your VA do it logged into your social media. Is that potentially unethical? I don't know. I think a lot of Facebook groups may not be super stoked with you having a virtual assistant logging into your account, pretending to be you, and basically farming for opportunity. So is it unethical? I don't know. Depends on which group you're in or which social media platform you're using, right? I'm not going to comment on that. Does it work? Yes. Why does it work? Because your overseas VA is much more productive at getting the task done than you are consistently. They are being paid to do it. And us as American entrepreneurs, we get distracted very easily. If I told Ryan, right? If I told Ryan to go and post 6 times a day, 7 days a week about I have money, right? I have money and I want deals. Ryan's not going to do it. He'll do it strong, maybe the first day, maybe the second day, then he's going to fall off. When you hire a virtual assistant to do it, and whether they're pretending to be you or they make their own account, whatever it is, they're going to consistently do it, because if they don't, they're going to get fired. They're not going to have money. So yeah, 2 to 3 times a week. Here's the cadence: 2 to 3 times a week minimum. You or your VA is going to be posting to social media. This costs you effectively nothing to do, right? Absolutely nothing to do. All that it depends on is like what Facebook groups you're in, what Instagram like kind of communities or ecosystems you're in. 2 to 3 times a week minimum. The point of these posts is simple. It is to bait the people who read it into having a conversation with you. That is it. That is it. None of it honestly, the level of the copywriting doesn't matter, right? The level of the diction doesn't matter. All of these things that people think matters, like how does it look, how does it sound, none of that matters. All that matters is, do we achieve the end result that we're looking for, which is a one-to-one conversation about an opportunity. And so the types of posts that I think do the best, I know this because I've tracked it. We do them. I even have a KPI spreadsheet with results on a lot of these things. The 4, in my opinion, best forms of marketing when it comes down to free groups, free social media to get lending deals coming in. Number 1 is going to be a HUD or a wire. A HUD, guys, that's like a receipt of an actual closed deal, or a wire coming in. Why? Because people like seeing proof that you're making money. I think a wire, if you see people posting a lot of wires, what's going to end up happening is the wires are, they're a lot more sexy, I think, very often, just because, a wire for $150,000 is very eye-catching. The whole point is you get massive credibility with that. The second, in my opinion, the second best one is going to be a story or case study. Okay. And that's going to be, hey, we closed the deal. I'm not highlighting the wire. I'm not highlighting the HUD, but I'm highlighting the story. Hey, I helped Marlon get his first deal ever and blah, 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 blah. And the whole point of the story is to give you more credibility by name dropping other people, by showing that you're actually interacting and doing the thing with other people in the ecosystem. So everyone who's reading is like, cool. Sam's not just saying Sam does deals. Sam's saying he's doing deals with Marlon, and Marlon's right there. And there's an association of credibility being transferred. That's important. Guys, third one, I don't care what anyone says. Memes crush on social media. Memes absolutely crush on social media. A lot of Facebook groups are now like banning memes because they just don't want things to turn into like a comedy fest. But the thing about memes is they're fun. They're lighthearted. People like them. People engage with them. They're super fun. If you can Photoshop your face on some dumb stuff and it just looks goofy as hell, but it's eye-catching, people will stop and read. And that's the whole point. People love memes. In the last one, I think it's actually slept on. People don't want to blatantly advertise that they can help you doing this, right? People, if I'm going to go to social media and I'm new or like newer or trying to grow my business, I want to, at the end of the day, I just want more lending deals. A lot of people, Marlon, are adverse to saying, hey, I'm a lender. I have $50,000 to give you. Like, here's my information. And that's it. People are afraid of blatant advertising just because I think they have a preconceived notion that it won't perform well, it won't be looked upon favorably. The reality is blatant advertising freaking works. Because the reality is, while everyone else is doing memes, while everyone else is posting a wire, while everyone else is doing this 7-paragraph freaking essay on a story, you could just be the person that comes in and says, hey, my name is Sam. I've got $500,000 to deploy. Who has deals? And I've seen those work beautifully. Guys, this is like legitimately. You do not need to do anything more than this in marketing. 2 to 3 times a week minimum. If you can post up to 10 times a week without getting shut down by like certain Facebook groups and their admins because you're over posting or over promoting, easily you could do over $500,000.
Sam, let me ask you a question. If you were brand new and you could only pick one of these 4, which one would you pick that you're like, I can only do this one for the next 90 days?
Got you. Great question. So the first 2 are usually going to be thrown out the door if you're brand new because you don't have a HUD yet. You don't have a wire yet. You may not have a case study. What you can do is jump on someone's team. They close a deal you're involved in. Now you have the associative credibility. And then now you can post a wire. Now you can post a HUD. In the beginning, I like memes. Why? Because they're disarming. Right? If I come in and I'm like, here's my HUD, I made $1 billion in a day. What's going to happen is the cynics, right? There's readers who are very cynical. I tend to be one sometimes. They may be like, yeah, but how much that was profit? Yeah, but how long did it take you? How many ways you split it? And then all it does is it like makes you feel negative and you don't want to post it anymore. But like when you just post a freaking meme, it's fun and lighthearted. And people can't be cynical about it. So I like memes in the beginning. I also like blatant advertising. I like owning. I love it when I see people who are new owning the fact that they're new, owning the fact that they're looking for their first deal. Why? Because people want to root for the underdog. As a society, how do I know this? Every major story in like American history features some form of an underdog. Like 99% of them do. People love an underdog story. People love a beginner. People want to root for the person who's authentic, who's genuine, who is just upfront and honest about the fact that, hey, I'm brand new. I'm trying to change my life. And I love the idea of like, hey, I'm new. My name's Sam Singh. I'm new. I don't have any money at all, but I want to get in. I want to get involved. I want to be a connector. I can pound the phones all day connecting deal finders with people with money. And I would love to make money in between. Guys, I am not misrepresenting myself. I'm not misadvertising myself. People have no choice but to see me as genuine and authentic. And I think what's going to happen is it will attract the right type of attention, the right people. Does that answer that?
That answers it perfectly, bro.
Beautiful. Marketing continued. Guys, these posts tell the story and have some form of CTA. Guys, in the chat, do you guys know what a CTA is? You guys should know what a CTA is because everyone here is on social media. And if you don't know what a CTA is, you need to know what a CTA is because you see them all of the time on social media.
I literally don't see. There we go. Tammy got it.
I'm like, 1 person? 2 people.
David,
okay,
okay, Mindy. Okay, Chris. There we go. Victor. All right, cool.
Guys, so a CTA is a call to action. What's up, Mike Davis? Bro, what's going on, brother? Good to see you.
Shout out to Mike. That's the reason I bought my RV. Shout out to Mike. He ran the TC work on the RV, did all the paperwork. If you guys ever need to buy a car sub too, talk to Mike Davis.
I think he's got planes, so I told him I need a private jet. Mike Davis, good to see you, brother. Call to action. CTA is a call to action. So the whole point in those posts is you're going to tell some form of story. That story is going to do what? Show that you're transacting, show that you're interested in transacting, or it shows that you have some level of credibility and people should trust you and they should want to give you opportunities. And then at the end of that post is going to be a CTA, a call to action. That call to action. So you guys will see influencers who do this. You'll see a reel. They'll be talking to the camera, doing all the things. There's effects. And at the end, they say, comment below the word XYZ or DM me the word this. That is a call to action. You are calling your people who are viewing your marketing material to some form of action. And the whole point of that is to get them to comment below. Why do you want them to comment below? Marlon, if you post on Facebook or on Instagram and you post a reel and people comment on it, what does it do to the algorithm?
The algorithm starts to put the reel in front of more people, especially more people that are of similar nature.
Very good. I mean, that's absolutely it, guys. So engagement gets it boosted, and more people will see it. And that's the key. So comment, ideally, get them to comment first. It increases your exposure rate. And then you take the comment, and then you'll probably reply to them one time. And then you take the conversation into private DMs. So then you can basically do what you got to do there. And in the DMs, what you're going to do is you're going to give them a deal submission link, whatever it is, right? Whether it's a deal submission link, or if you're looking for lenders and you want a capital partner, and your call to action, maybe a Calendly link, whatever the link is, doesn't really matter, but you want to do that in DMs. Why do you not want to do that on the actual public post? Because Facebook, because Instagram, all of them, they will absolutely take your post down if you are promoting links to other platforms, because every social media platform doesn't want people to leave the platform. So don't do that. Cool. When you send them a deal submission link, they're going to send the deal in. Okay. You're going to work on that deal in your CRM. I'm going to go over the structures and the buckets that you need in a moment here. Every closed deal, and this is a key, right? Every closed deal is more marketing material. People think that closed deals, bro, are like money to pay the bills. I look at it at a point, I'm like, dude, every closed deal is a HUD to basically go and get the next 20 deals. I want you guys to realize at scale, when you close a deal, the HUD you receive, the $10,000 you receive, it's important, and it can absolutely change your life. Do not get me wrong. But when you get to a certain scale, you'll realize what's more important than the 10K, the story, the credibility, the HUD statement, because you can go on social media, promote that, and then get 10 more JV deals. And on those 10 JV deals, you make 10,000 per. That your first 10,000 through the HUD became 100,000. So huge.
Sam, you just reminded me of something that I learned forever ago, and it's been a seed that's been dormant in my mind. And you saying this just reminded me that I learned this, which is you don't get a customer to make money. You get a customer so that you can get another customer. And the idea is when you get that first person that does business with you, you want to do business with them so well that they will bring more into your world. That opportunity creates more opportunity. So thanks for reminding me that.
Yep, guys. We still got quite a bit to go, and then we're gonna do some Q&A soon. If you're getting value out of this, if you guys like this, if you just like me going on tactical tears on things because I'm sick and tired of people telling you just bogus stuff that doesn't actually matter, do me a favor. If you're on Marlon's YouTube, make sure you subscribe to his. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Remember we talked about the algorithm and the engagement. Also hit the like button, because when you hit the like button, what's going to happen is it's going to show this video to more people who are similar, and do the same thing on mine. So sweet. Cool. Every deal closed turns into marketing. Ops, guys, that's the marketing side. That's bringing in deals. By the way, just so you know, all the stuff that I just showed you on the framework side, on the marketing to get more deals, you can modify all of those, change out a few keywords, and turn that into, I don't need deals, I need lending partners. I need capital partners. You do the exact same thing and just change the verbiage. Chris is great, dude. He's like, was that a call to action? It absolutely was. That absolutely was a call to action. Good stuff, man. Good catch. Okay, so once the deals are in, right, now you're in an operation standpoint. Now you've got life in your system. You need someone to nurture that life and make sure it freaking doesn't die. And that person's going to be your main ops, right? The VA can do all of the marketing on the front side, right? They can do all that marketing. On the ops side, you want to have, in my opinion, a domestic worker who's ideally an American or has a high degree skill set, and they understand lending, they understand real estate, they just understand all the things, because they're going to be the ones making all the decisions. This person basically does everything. It can be you. If you want to be a baller, you hire someone, train them up, and then pay them out. Honestly, if you do this yourself, it will not take a lot of your time. This is not like wholesale, guys, where if you're like an operator in wholesale, you're going to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week. I think you can, honest to God, structure a lending business and work less than 20 hours a week very, very, very easily. If you want to outsource it to someone, the salary, if you want to go and hire off Indeed, like I recommend hiring, I do recommend a 1 to 2K base salary plus a tiered commission split. And that's going to be based on the amount of deals they close or based on the amount of revenue or profit they bring into the business. That is totally up to you to decide. The reason why I don't go more specific than that is because it's actually going to depend on the types of deals that you do. Different deal types have different risk factors, different profit margins, which means you have different abilities on what you're allowed to pay back to people. So, any questions on that, Marlon?
No questions in the chat.
Sweet, 547. Cool. Guys, this is what matters. Like straight up.
We Jay just dropped a question. If you need someone to run this company, does this for many lending operations? I don't even think that was a question.
Oh, no, you said our company.
Oh,
beautiful. There you go. So Jay Holder's a good friend. That's cool. I didn't know you guys were doing that. So guys, Jay can help you guys on the operation side. Bucket statuses. What do I mean by that? These are independent like tags or statuses or buckets that your CRM will have. And guys, this is it. Like write these down, right? Screenshot this stuff, come back to it later. This is on YouTube, so the replays will be there. If you actually look at it, if you look at Marlon's channel or my channel on YouTube, if you go to the video section, it may not be there, but if you hit the live tab, this episode will always be here as a replay, so you can always come back to this. Whether you're using Go High Level or Close, I think, in my opinion, they're the best ones for this type of business model. I don't think you need any more than these specific statuses in your pipeline. You can modify these. I'm just giving you some loose labels, and you make them specific to your business. The first is new deal intake untouched. You can use one of those. There's usually 3 most common kind of labels for it. Why does that matter? When you were DMing people, right? You made the post, you drove the traffic, you got them into the DMs, you funneled them with the web form link. That deal they submit, it's going to land in this first status, in this first bucket, the new deal intake untouched bucket. Cool. Who manages that? Your freaking VA. In my opinion, it is below your pay grade as the founder, as the owner of the business, as the CEO, to be spending your time in the new deal kind of bucket or status. Your VA should be doing that. And you give them the SOP to be vetting the deals, making sure they have all the information. They don't have to go do like everything on it. They just have to make sure they have enough information so the next person can go ahead and look at the deal. Guys, I'm telling you right now, we do tons of disposition JV where like wholesalers bring us deals and we sell the deals. I would say most of the deals, at least half of the deals that are sent to us, have to get kicked back because they usually don't have all the information we need. And could you imagine if I had my partner or my directors just sitting there in the CRM doing that? No, you want to have an overseas virtual assistant, someone who can just sit there and just manage that really easily. So new deal intakes. After it's gone through that process, it's succeeded, it's passed, it's going to go through an underwriting due diligence process, and then it's going to go through the past underwriting or due diligence status bucket. Once you get past that, if this is optional, I'm assuming here you aren't using your own money, you are using someone else's money. If that is the case, you may want to have a status that says submitted to capital partner for review or submitted for review. That way, that means in your system, it's labeled as we're not going to touch this deal until our partner has looked at it and greenlit it because we're going to use their money, right? So that's if you're using capital partners. You don't need that. The next one, let's just say everyone signs off on it, passes underwriting, the partner reviews it, they love it. Cool. Let's move on it. Your next bucket's going to be escrow or out for paperwork or funds or pending, something to that effect. Means that the deal is live. We're signing paperwork. We're trying to get it out there because we're trying to do the damn thing. Sweet. Once it's in escrow or like it's the deal is closed, the escrow has closed, the deals have been funded, the money's been funded to the operator, like the flipper or the wholesaler, whatever you're doing with it. And they're using it to rehab a house or buy a house. And, we're now just like waiting. That's like a lot of what lending is. You just wait once the money is delivered. Then it's going to sit in a pending tab. Okay. That pending bucket basically means the money's deployed, people are working on it, and now we just wait. Once the deal closes on the back end, you're going to go into a closed or WAN bucket, which means the deal closed, they sold it on market, a retail buyer bought it, we're getting our money back. Cool. WAN, good story. We've got a HUD, market it more. These are 3 tabs that I think you should have, especially in lending. I am sorry to say this, but this is true. You are going to at scale have a bucket that says in default, which means if you do enough deals, someone's going to take your money and they will miss payments and they will not be making payments and they may run away with your money and you may be chasing them for 6 months. So the sad truth is there will be a bucket or a status in your CRM that is dedicated for the bad apples. And so in default or whatever the heck you want to call it, bad apples, idiots you want to chase down, whatever the heck it is, FBI's most wanted, you can name it whatever you want. Lost. I like lost. Lost means the bucket where you when someone sends in a deal, okay, they send in a deal and it just didn't pass underwriting or didn't pass due diligence, or it's a good deal, it's just in a different state and you don't lend in that state. Cool. It goes to lost. Or you said, yes, it's a good deal. I want it. The problem is the operator went with a different lender because they offered a lower interest rate to you. Move it to loss and take notes on why you lost it. Because at the end of every month or the end of every quarter, you want to look at your lost bucket and understand, why are we losing deals? You may find out that you lost 20% of the deals that came in because they're all in this market. And then you have to start understanding or start asking yourself the question, what would it take for me to break into that new market so we don't lose that 20% of deals and we don't lose that, $250,000 of profit potentially. Really quick, Dr. Courtney would love to partner with someone to get my first lending deal to walk through the process. Beautiful. If someone wants to work with, working with a doctor would be pretty cool on your team.
Dr. Courtney, just explain what value you would bring. Like, are you going to be the lender? Are you out finding the deals? Just let people know what it is that you're going to bring to the table.
Very true. Absolutely. Guys, last bucket's going to be rejected. Usually you want to have a bucket where this is similar to loss, but not the same as loss. The reason why we want to have a rejected bucket is this is the bucket where it means people sent it to you and then your team has rejected the deal because it didn't pass your barometers, right? In the loss bucket, you may have wanted to do the deal, but someone else got it instead of you because they won the bid, they offered lower or whatever. The rejected bucket is a great bucket to have because you're going to be able to look at the 20 deals a month that were rejected by your team. And then what is that going to point at? It's going to point at a misalignment in your messaging, in your marketing. Why are we getting all these deals from Virginia if I don't market in Virginia? The question then becomes, oh, cool. Hey, Marlon, can we go back into our marketing, to our ad copy, to our emails, to our social media posts and start removing or start being more specific about which states we lend in? So your rejected button or a bucket is going to actually help you understand how to modify and pivot in your marketing.
Well, that.
Okay. Oh,
what's up, Richard Knowles?
Doc Courtney said, look, guys, if you guys didn't see that, I think you just brought it up, but she has the money, which obviously she's a doctor. So she has the money. She just needs someone helping her bring and structure the deals. That's huge. King Richard Knowles, one of my absolute favorite human beings on earth. Love you, bro. Almost done here that we can get into some Q&A. Nurture sequences. This matters. I care about this. I care about you only doing this if it's automated. Okay. Because if you can automate it, which is extremely freaking easy to do, why do I like Go High Level? Why do I like Close CRM specifically for a lending business? Because of this one thing. More than any other CRM, it's this slide, your nurture sequences. When you are a lender, okay, when you're like Dr. Courtney, or you're the connector who's going to help Dr. Courtney, right? You want to have nurture sequences, which are automations that are sending out texts and emails to two different types of people. The first type of person is the deal bringers, the operators, the flippers, the wholesalers, the people who have the deal and need the money. So what you're going to do is this, guys. When someone submits they submit a deal into your web form, you're not only going to work that deal. What's going to happen is you're going to save their contact information and then put them into a nurture sequence. So that deal that wholesaler sent you may not be a great deal for you right now. It may not align with your business goals right now, but what's going to end up happening is 6 months later, 2 months later, a week later, they may have another deal that absolutely is a fit. But you wouldn't know that if you didn't keep in contact with them. And the problem is when you have 3,000 people send a submission form in, unless you leverage automation, you just will not know. So you want to put them into a cadence or a nurture sequence. And the whole point of that is you are going to be texting them, emailing them once a week, once every other week, once a month, basically saying, hey, just checking in. If you have deals, great. We're eager to lend, whatever. The whole point of it is you're staying top of mind. Okay. It keeps the conversation going. And so when that wholesaler, when that flipper does have a deal, they immediately think of you. That's the key. And on the flip side of the nurture sequences, you need to have one for more money. Guys, I know someone who has lent out over $10 million of their own money. They ran out of money. You would think that, man, if I had $10 million, I would never run out lending it. Heck no, you can spend 10 million really freaking fast. And so this person who sent out 10 million of their own money is now raising other people's money. And they're putting potential money partners like Dr. Courtney, who are saying, hey, I'm a doctor. I earn a lot of income. I want to be able to lend it out, right? They'll put Courtney, Dr. Courtney, I want to be respectful. They'll put Dr. Courtney into a nurture sequence where so every month they may say, hey, doc, we don't have a deal for you right now, but 100% know that I've got your lending criteria. I know exactly what types of deals you're looking for. As soon as we have one, you're going to be the first person that I contact. That way, the lender is not going and getting married to somebody else. The capital partner is not giving all of their money to somebody else, because you're helping them, you're nurturing them to stick with you. And that's a huge thing. I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. Marlon attracts a shit ton of private capital. I do too. I attract millions of dollars of private capital. You know, my number one problem is when people bring me private capital, if I don't have a deal for them right then and there, I have like this stress in the back of my mind. They're going to go spend that money somewhere else. And when I do have a deal that would be perfect for them, they're like, hey, Sam, sorry, I already gave the $250,000 away to somebody else. And I'm like, well, damn, that sucks. And then what's going to happen is they will get married to that person, right? Not legitimately, but literally, but they will figuratively get married to that person. So, dude, I'm like trying to keep up with the chat, but the chat is literally people doing deals right now, and it is epic.
Dude, people aren't here live right now. I feel bad for them.
I think we just got like 3 or 4 deals done in our chat, like in less than an hour. That's crazy. Okay, last one, guys. This one's important. This right here, in my opinion, is how you can differentiate a shitty disposition shop versus an excellent one, or a good one versus an excellent one, a good lending business versus an excellent lending business. And this takes one person. It could be you. It could be your American operator who's doing the day-to-day. And it's a fancy, I think it's French, but the word is liaison. And all that means is that it's a person whose job it is in your business to just be a professional communicator. If you have a deal in line, the liaison's job is to send weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, bi-monthly, whatever the cadence is, communications out to all parties involved to do what? Keep everyone on the same page at all times. Marlon, you and I have seen so many people fall by the wayside in lending, right? They default or deals go south. What is the number one problem when stuff hits the fan? What's the number one issue that always comes up?
It's poor communication. It's always poor communication. And really poor communication can be summed up by too little communication. There's just not enough communication on what's going on.
I'm going to tell you guys right now, 99% of deals where someone like deal went south, assuming the person's not a scam artist, right? Like they're not an actual con artist. Deal just went south because bad flip, market's changing, house burned down, whatever the hell it is. 99% of the time that it goes really bad, it could have gone really, really, really well, or as well as it possibly could have been, if the operator just communicated properly. And here's the key: over communicated. And guys, in my opinion, communicating is under communicating. Over communicating is communicating.
Yep.
That's the key. And the whole point of a liaison, I like having a liaison, and the best teams, the best lending companies who are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, guys, they literally will have a full-time salary human being in a seat where their only job is to talk to the operators, talk to the capital partners, talk to the lenders, right? Or the title companies, talk to the operators, talk to everyone involved, and just not even actually say much. Just say, hey, letting you know, deal's still going, flip's still happening, nothing broke, we're all good, deal hasn't sold yet. That's basically not an update. But what does it do? It keeps everyone on the same page. It keeps everyone feeling okay, right? That's the key. I think the liaison is the most slept on position, the most slept on role. And here's the beauty, guys. You can automate a lot of the liaison stuff. If a deal doesn't have an actual update, your CRM can send the liaison communication via email or text, or even a ringless voicemail. You can send ringless voicemails automated through Go High Level and Close to just let them know, hey, just letting you know the update is that there is no update. That's it. You don't even need a human being to do that. The system's very automated. Sasha is here. Guys, if you guys didn't know, Sasha is my secret sauce to basically just crushing in real estate. She basically runs my business for me. And she knows we've spent a lot of time talking about the importance of a liaison in business. So this position best handled by the higher level domestic worker. Yep, absolutely. And last thing, guys, is in your marketing, when it comes down to, let me do this really quick. Boom, boom, boom. Give me 1 sec, guys. Instagram just bugged out. Boom. Okay. When it comes down to having a liaison in your business, you know what the liaison does? Is it gives your business a white glove effect. The best thing about my business, guys, is that I don't really talk to people. When people do deals with Sam Singh, like you think you're going to do a deal with me, you don't do a deal with me. Why? Because I hand you off to Sasha and the team. And the funny thing is this, everyone who's done deals with us, they don't give a damn about me. They love Sasha because she's a phenomenal ambassador for the business. And then here's a crazy thing. It always comes back to me. People refer their friends to us, not because of me, but because of the white glove feel, the nurturing, the care they have in the business. And it's because we place such an emphasis on having a liaison role in the business. So guys, we're up for an hour. I can't really talk more about this. Marlon, do you have like a quick 5 minutes just to maybe answer some questions?
Dude, I don't even think there are questions in the chat. Like, we gotta get some questions going because you've been doing such a killer job answering everything as you go. Guys, like, first off, if you got value from this, drop some fire in the chat. Like, I want to see who got value. I mean, we've got over 100 people who've been tuned in, staying on the entire time. So I'm assuming y'all are getting value. Dr. Courtney loves this. She's like, dude, you guys just got me 7 deals.
Dr. Courtney just went from being a doctor to a full-time lender in the space of Think Big.
Right, like she literally, Dr. Courtney, we need the testimonial when at the end of the year you have a $500,000 lending business.
You know what we should do? We should do a quarter for the quarter, which anyone that's new, Marlon and I love doing this challenge called Quarter for the Quarter, where we'll basically break down exactly down to a T what you need to do to take your business and scale it to $250,000 within a calendar quarter, which is 3 months. Wouldn't it be epic if we did a quarter for the quarter for lending specifically? Because it'd be so easy, dude. I know exactly how to do that. It would be like 3 slides.
Dude, that'd be fire. Let's make that happen.
Okay.
Shout out to Angie.
Yeah. Why do I'm like looking for questions. Love you, Rich. You're great. I think
you answered. I actually believe you answered. If you guys have a question, now's the time to put it in the chat. I think Sam answered all the questions as we were going. Like, you were in like that Neo mode. It felt like I was watching the Matrix happen.
Yeah, my goal is to just not have people drop $3,000 on a coaching program. And literally, guys, I'm telling you right now, like if you were to drop like 3, 4, 5 grand on a coaching program, through about 2 months of doing the program, the coursework, engaging the community, all that stuff, you would actually be able to framework this entire thing. And so there you go. It's free. Ooh, great question. How do you handle defaults? So, okay, I can't give you a very hyper-specific answer because the answer is going to be, unfortunately, it depends. And it's going to depend on the deal type. It's going to depend on how the the funds were secured. And it's going to depend on the contracts that you had in place. The reality is when people default, you basically have to go through the agreements that you signed with them to see what your recourses are. This is why I'm a huge advocate of like trust but verify. I'm also a huge advocate of having very, very experienced real estate and lending based attorneys draft your contracts for you that have tons of recourse verbiage in them. And that recourse verbiage, or just like the mediation steps, are going to be what you follow. What I see happen most of the time when people go into default, they'll say, hey, we signed a loose JV that basically had no details. or hey, we didn't secure the funds to the property. And if you didn't secure the funds to the property, you can't make a claim against the property. Or if it's a creative finance deal, it's a sub 2 deal, what they'll do is like, yeah, we secured it in second position on the property that has no equity, which basically, by the way, guys, means that your money kind of got lost. So it's going to depend on the paperwork, on the securement that you required up front, and it's going to depend also on how good your attorney is, in my opinion. Marlon, anything you want to add to that?
No, dude, you covered it. I was also responding to some DMs just now.
Beautiful. How do you find a good liaison? Leverage automations as much as you can to do this stuff. If there's a message that needs to go out, like here's the update and the update's no update, leverage AI to do that and leverage a CRM to do that. The domestic worker or you, the operator in the beginning, will be the liaison. When you have the profitability and the margin in your business to hire someone, then you can bring someone in as a part-time hire. Usually part-time is more than enough in the beginning to be a liaison. And that's just, honestly, you're looking for someone who's been a secretary, customer service kind of rep, very kind of human to human oriented. Yeah, there's a lot more there, but yeah.
Love that. Then Savan asks, what's the best way to recover from a bad initial communication on your first deal?
Commit to better communication on the second deal. And I'm assuming that means let's just say, I'm going to make an assumption here. You lent money to an operator and the operator had poor communication. I think moving forward with them, if you want to, take the chance with them or with anybody else, the key is going to be very clear cut upfront expectations and requirements that are also ratified on contract. You literally need to contract, in my opinion, in an operating agreement, in a promissory note, all the things you possibly can. Like, how often are we going to communicate? Every Tuesday at noon PST, I'm going to jump on a call with you, and you are, by initialing next to that clause in the contract, you are agreeing to doing that. And if you do not do that, there's going to be a penalty associated with it. And the key with a good contract, guys, and I'm not a real estate attorney. I should have said that like a million years ago. The key to a good contract is to have repercussions for everything. There is an if-then scenario for everything. And so if you guys agree to meeting once a week, and you may give them grace on it, but in the contract, you should have some form of recourse. Because like, what happens if they go 3 weeks and they do not show up to the meetings and they ghost you, right? There should be some form of recourse for that.
Yep. And if it were you, right, because I don't know the context, and let's say you're the one who's not doing the communication, you're like, oh man, I screwed up and I haven't been communicating the way I could. Here's what I've learned. It's never too late to do the right thing. And so if you're the one who screwed up the communication, you could reach back out to those people if it's an ongoing deal, if it's a past deal, and to say, hey, fall on the sword. I screwed up. I should have been communicating better with you. I'm sorry that things have gone this far. I got nervous that I didn't communicate with you when I was supposed to. And I let more time go on, and I don't want to let any more time go forward without us getting back on track. And so just fall on the sword, get back to what you're supposed to be doing, and move forward.
Yeah, right. Sivan clarified bad communication about the rates with the borrower. Rates need to be determined upfront very clearly before any money is sent anywhere. That is a like set in stone type thing. Can the rates change down the road? Yes, but in the beginning, it's like you both, before any money is sent anywhere, that needs to be like, when I take money from a lender, I will go over the terms with the lender 92,000 freaking times before I ever like connect them to do any type of wire. So absolutely. I think the last ones were pretty much out of questions. I saw that something else phenomenal. Rich, dude, I love Rich. Can't spell liaison without AI. I freaking love that. Marlon, dude, I'm good, man. I think that was it. I think we did it okay today.
Dude, I think we did as well. So, guys, do me a favor. If you got value from tonight's episode, if you believe Sam absolutely crushed it and we should do something else like this again, we should have another masterclass on the YouTube channel. I want you to do this. I need you to subscribe to Sam's YouTube because I need Sam's YouTube to grow. I need more people to find out that Sam Singh exists because I don't think the world knows he's a real person yet. Some people on Facebook are still convinced he's a VA from India. And so I want people to see that or an AI. So make sure you are subscribed to Sam's channel and make sure you hit the like and you turn on all notification. And if you got value from this episode tonight, I want you to share it with a friend. We know so many people who are out there trying to do this lending business and they've got so many wrong ideas about it. And they're being told to buy this mentorship program, buy this course, buy this, buy that, when they could just come here right now and effectively get a $30,000 mentorship for free. So send this, if you know someone who's been wanting to get into lending, send them this video first. So Sam, I think we did a great job. I think you did a great job doing it tonight. Guys, we'll be back on here live next week at 5 p.m. Arizona time. We appreciate you. We love you. And thank you